Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Sell More Homes Now on YouTube or on my podcast app, The Red Pill Investor. What I typically do is I go ahead and I take these calling sessions, the prospecting sessions that I do live here on Sell More Homes Now, and I transpose them into a podcast that you can then listen to in your car, in between appointments, or wherever really you feel is best. That way you can go ahead and get the absolute best value out of this. Trust me, I'm going to try and make these increasingly better as we go along so that it'll be even more valuable for you so that you can get the absolute best. And I already see people joining me on this podcast and on this video. I really appreciate you joining me and sharing this. So as you already know, I've got everything locked up, ready to go. I've got expired set. All their numbers are ready. Everybody is geared up. I've got a whole bunch of good stories for us to cover today, things that I think are going to keep you motivated, informed, and certainly helpful to your customers. So let's go ahead and get started today. Get cracking right away. It is 8:14 in the morning on May 22nd. We got a good early start. So let's go ahead and take this to the Lord in prayer. Lord, we just ask that you watch over the people who listen to this podcast. I ask that you watch over the people who see this video. I'd ask that you'd open their ears, open their eyes, that they might see this with a new set and learn something that they maybe hadn't learned before, that they can take to the people that are in their community, that they can help them, that they can bring glory to your name. God, I'd ask that you'd help me to speak clearly, help me to help the people in my community, and ask that you bless them in everything we do. For the glory of Jesus' name we ask. Amen. All right, let's go ahead and get cracking. Whew, I'm so excited. I can't even wait. Let me tell you, I've got some really good stories. It has been an amazing news day. If you've not been watching the news as far as real estate goes, holy cow, you've missed out. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, if this is the first time that you've actually joined us while we're actually live prospecting here, then I would highly encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there, hit the like button, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you get notified again of the very next time I prospect, because I'm doing this 5 days a week, every day, 8 in the morning. I'm right here trying to prospect so I can show you exactly the steps you need to take to generate deals in your business place. So what's going on behind the scenes, if this is the first time you've seen this, is I am on the phone. My phone is auto dialing right now through a bunch of expireds.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
When we reach a person who is ready to pick up and talk, then the phone will automatically bling, and then we know we've got a live one. So we would be able to go ahead and move pretty expeditiously without having to worry about having to go through a bunch of dial tones as we had to in the past. So let's go ahead and get cracking here with the very... Hang on a minute. I think this is going to go to voicemail, but let's double check.
You have dialed a number that is not available from your calling area.
Oh, it's an 800 number. I'm not sure how that went there. Okay, well, no worries. All right, so the first story for today, right? If you'll pardon me while I take a quick drink. The first news for today, the first news story comes to us from Housing Wire. They wrote an article today, said, want to make...
Oh, please leave a message after the tone.
If you want to make more money when...
You have reached the voicemail.
If you want to make more money when selling your home, don't move out. That was their advice to you. If you don't want to lose money, well, don't move out prior to the sale. So the question comes up, well, gosh, how did you determine this? Where did this information come from? Well, it turns out that I guess Redfin apparently has been doing an analysis, and they determined that the average vacant home sells for $11,306 less and spends 6 more days on the market. Now, if you're a realtor, Okay. And if you're looking for listings in the marketplace, if you're calling expired listings, if you're calling canceled listings, hello? Hello? Okay. All right, good deal. So if you're a realtor out in the field, you've obviously been in that position where you've got a person who's got a property and they're asking you, gosh, do you think I should move out and just leave it the way it is? Do you think I should stage it? What is the right thing to do with this property? And it turns out with this recent analysis that the average vacant home, as they said, spends 6 days longer on the market and makes about $11,000 less on the average sale. Now, the reason why they figured this out, the rationale, if you will, that the buyers gave them was that although vacant homes are easy for buyers to tour at their convenience, the fact that the sellers have already moved on is often a signal to buyers that they can take their time in making an offer. Wow. Talk about unintended consequences. Here you are trying to make it easy for your buyer potentially to move in. You think to yourself, well, gosh, I'm going to remove all of the personal items from my home. I mean, when a realtor comes in and tells you to list your property, they're telling you to go ahead and list it. Take your personal property, take your personal mementos, depersonalize the property, make it a certain way. These people say, okay, great. Well, we'll just take the whole thing out, make it super easy for people to move in and see it. And it's super easy. And well, it turns out that it just works out in the negative. It doesn't work to your favor. It costs you $11,000 more and takes you longer to sell. How can you, as a real estate professional, use this to your advantage? Okay, let's think this through real quick. How could you, as a real estate professional, take information like this and use it to your advantage? Okay. So if it were me, all right, and I was in a sales situation and a seller's talking to me and they say, well, gosh, let's say in a prospecting situation, like this one, right? Like somebody's
0, 6.
I was thinking maybe it would happen
7.
right now. That would be ironic, right? So what if potentially, let's say one of these people right here that I'm talking to picks up the phone and says, gosh, we're going to go ahead and still sell the property. And, we're going to take our things out. We're just going to move on to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and we are not going to worry about it anymore. How could you use this information in a sales environment like that, a real life sales environment? Well, I personally would approach it from this perspective. I said, well, gosh, there's always this, if you knew, would you then approach? If you knew this, would you do that approach? So for example, if you knew, right, that's the beginning. If you knew that by moving your home, taking all the things out, making it vacant, if you did all that, it could actually cost you a small fortune, would you still do it? Right? So that's a nice, easy way for you to transition from a real life piece of information into a real life sales application, right? Because you have to think to yourself that your customers, they don't know this. They think, and why would they think that they're going to lose money? They're not in this business every day. They wouldn't know. But you as a real estate professional, especially if you're an investing realtor, yeah, and again, I admit I have a little bit of a bias. I still love my wholesaler friends out there. I still love my regular unlicensed investor friends. I still love all of you. Don't get me wrong. But I have a special place in my heart for the realtors out there who invest, because there's just no love for you. Wholesalers and investors, people don't really, unlicensed folks anyway, they don't think one way or the other about you. You're just a person out there doing whatever. You're an investor. It's what you do. Realtors, on the other hand, if you're a realtor who invests, you get to experience the scorn from your customers. You get to experience the scorn from your clients. You get to experience the scorn from your coworkers. It certainly happens all the way around. Hello?
Please leave your message for
So I've got a special place in my heart for the realtors out there who invest. So shout out to you. But if you think about it, you've got to be able. Hi, this is Karl. How are you?
This is Dr. Madani. What can I help you with?
Yes, Dr. Madani. My name's Karl Krentzel. I was calling about your house on Celsian. Is it still available for sale?
I'm sorry. Right now, I'm starting to see patients, and I'm not about to talk about that. Okay?
No worries. When can I buy it from you? When?
Well, you can call me if you want later this evening, and then we can talk about it.
Okay. What time? 6, 7?
I will not finish seeing patients and doing administrative meetings until around 7 o'clock.
Okay, great. I'll call you then. Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay. So let's go ahead and set a call back here. So we're going to call him. Now, here's the thing with him. I'll tell you, I can totally feel where you're coming from because trust me, my wife is a nurse practitioner and she sees clients. Oh goodness. I mean, she doesn't get out till 7:15, 7:30 probably sometimes. And then when she comes home, she has charting and things she has to do. And so I can totally understand where he's coming from. I mean, he's getting ready to see clients. He's probably got 20, 30 patients. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff to do. He doesn't have a lot of time. I can absolutely 100% understand where he's coming from. So when you've got a situation like that, okay, then don't be afraid to just say, well, gosh, let's set a time that I can talk with you because clearly he's not going to be in a position mentally where he can hear you. It wouldn't have mattered if I had told him I was going to pay him $10 million in cash. He could not understand or deal with it at that moment. And that's okay. I think it's important for you as a realtor to understand that you have to be flexible. You have to be able to reach out to people at times that are going to work for him. Now, I'm going to be at church tonight at 7 o'clock, but I will definitely call him shortly thereafter. So let's go ahead and get back to talking about this using headlines and then applying it to a real life sales circumstance. If you're a member of the podcast, if you listen to my podcast at theredpillinvestor.com, then you'll know that I have a premium podcast there where I oftentimes will post real appointments, real listing appointments, or real wholesale appointments, real buyers or whatnot. And what you'll get to see is the actual conversations behind the scenes with the customers. And many times what you'll see, and especially in an upcoming premium podcast I'm going to put out today, I went on a listing appointment yesterday, and I'm going to turn that into a premium podcast for you. I recorded the entire thing for you so you could hear it, but it's going to be in a premium podcast. You want to go to theredpillinvestor.com to check that out if you're interested. But essentially what I did was use the Zillow report that we talked about over the last few days in a capacity in a listing appointment. And it's the very same concept when you're thinking about this. If you're saying to a seller, a seller expired, like Dr. Maldani or any other, saying, gosh, we're thinking about leaving the property vacant. Well, gosh, if you knew that you were doing that, if you knew that by doing that, you could actually be costing yourself a small fortune, would you still want to do it? Now, that's all you have to ask. If you knew that by doing this, you were going to cost yourself a small fortune, would you still do it? Most people, okay, if they have any interest in selling their property, are going to come back to you and say, well, gosh, what do you mean by that? Their curiosity is going to be piqued, and that's all you need. You have to really establish their curiosity because they're not going to listen to you otherwise. All right. You don't cast your pearl before swine. I mean, you got to get their attention. So you tell them, well, gosh, if you knew that by moving out, you could be costing yourself a small fortune, would you still want to do it? Well, gosh, what do you mean? Well, tell you what, I don't mind. And it not always the case, but in many cases, it could cost you $10,000, $15,000 when you're selling a property. I don't mind. Why don't I stop by, take a quick look at your property and just see what your home has to offer. And while I'm there, I'll be happy to go over this report that explained exactly how it costs you $12,000 when you make that move. Would Monday or Tuesday be better? Right? That's a simple close. That's a simple alternative close. It's very easy to do. People will respond to that. I think what you'll find is that it gives you the authority figure. It gives you the authority position in a sales position because you know something that they don't. I mean, I can't tell you how many Facebook posts I've seen, how many YouTube posts I've seen, how many Q&A sessions I've seen where young agents, young investors, people who are brand new to the business, don't have a lot of confidence, will say, well,
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice.
Somebody knows more than me. Their dad's in the situation or their mom's in the situation. They're yakking it up and screwing the whole deal up. And how do I know? How can I get in a position where I'm not getting? Here's how you do it. You get to know things that people don't know. And you do that by listening to this podcast right here or watching this video and sharing it with your friends. All right. The other thing they said before we move on the next article, it said that they discovered that the vacant homes come with the biggest discount in relatively affordable inland areas. And the price differential is smaller in expensive West Coast markets. Okay. So again, 30,000 foot view, right? If you're living in an inland area like Omaha, Nebraska, I don't know, Greenville, South Carolina, something along those lines, then you're going to be able to get those homes at a discount. They're selling on average about 7.5%, 8% less than the median sales price. Now, on the other hand, if you're out there on San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, there's not going to be that much of a differential. It'll be greater than it was maybe on a non-vacant home, but it will still be an issue. Let me go ahead and, I'm not sure why I got that person in here. Delete her. There we go. Oh, don't have to worry about her. So let's go on to the next article. So I'd like to go ahead and take a quick second here to throw in a quick plug. If you've not had an opportunity to listen to the podcast, I would highly recommend that you go over and check out the podcast at theredpillinvestor.com, because in this particular circumstance, you will be shocked and surprised to see what kind of resources I have available for you over there. There's well over 500 episodes. Most of them are free. I believe there's about 100 of them that are premium episodes. With a premium podcast episode membership, I believe it's $19 a month. You can access all of the premium podcasts for free as long as I have them. You'll also be able to go ahead and access all of the other podcasts as well. The reason why I think that this might come helpful is because that there's a couple different books that I offer out to you. One book that is for free, absolutely free. I've had people download it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, is the Red Pill Investor Sales Scripts version 5.0. Now, the version 5.0 you can find at theredpillinvestor.com. It's up in the right-hand corner of your screen. You'll see a little link there for free resources and scripts. Basically, it's a free ebook that you can download, and it has all the scripts that I use in pretty much every situation. It's got scripts for sale by owners, scripts for rent by owners, scripts for expired listings, scripts for your centers of influence, a listing presentation, a price reduction presentation, not the listing presentation. I guess for the wholesale part, it's the wholesale presentation. I guess it's called the 10-cent tour, the pawn shop presentation. So essentially, if you're looking for a way to communicate your truth, if you will, in wholesaling, or as an investor, or as an investing realtor, if you're trying to find a way, the words or the things to kind of structure that conversation, then I have all those resources for you for absolutely free. And you can download them right there at theredpillinvestor.com. I would highly encourage you to do so.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I do that specifically for you because I just remember what it was like when nobody was telling me. Hello.
Please leave your message for
when nobody was telling me how to do anything. And I just know what it's like. So
the number 480.
So if you're in that situation where you need some scripts, then please, by all means, I would encourage you to check that out. Let's move on to the next story for the day. If you've had a chance, I really appreciate you sharing this on your social media. Thank you very much for going ahead and sharing this. I hope this is of value to you. Let's go ahead and step into the second story. Second story for today. What we're talking about here is, there we go. Yes, undoubtedly you'd heard of this. Boy, I'll tell you, you gotta love people. You really do. You gotta love people.
You have reached the voicemail box of 52031244156.
Okay.
To send your message, press 1 at any time. To listen to your message, press 2. To re-record, press 3. For more options, press 4. To cancel, press star.
All right, let's just move on from that one there. I'm trying to get a hold of that fella for a while, and I've just not been able to reach him. Tried calling him morning, afternoon, night. It's just not working out very well. Maybe we'll catch him here. All right. So in this particular, you undoubtedly, if you've heard the paper, read the papers, or Twitter, or any of these other folks, you've heard about Greg. Greg?
Hello?
Oh, hi, Greg. This is Karl Krentzel. Yeah. Hi, Greg. This is Karl. I've been trying to catch up with you and playing phone tag with you the last couple of days. My name's Karl.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My name is Karl Krentzel. You're Greg, right? Greg Shuda?
What do you want?
Yeah, no
Why
problem.
are you calling me?
Yeah, no problem. Well, you have a property over there. Well, at least you used to. You used to have a
All
property.
right, hang up. I don't want to discuss anything with you. If you're a realtor, I do not want to talk with you.
I'm not a realtor. I want to actually. I'm not.
Don't call me again.
Hey, you want some money? You want money on that house on Kilmer?
Don't call me again.
You don't
call me again.
All right, Greg. I love you. Have a great day.
Don't fucking call me again, you fucking scam artist scumbag.
I love you.
Do not call me again.
I love you, Greg.
Yeah, fuck you.
I love you, Greg, and so does
you.
Jeez.
Go to hell.
All right, well, I'll see you there. Love you. Greg? Oh, boy. We always have fun times. Well, at least I got a hold of the fella anyway. All right. I think we'll just put him down as a not interested. All right. Not interested. All right. Oh boy, I'll tell you, you gotta love people. You do. You really gotta love people. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Ben Carson, the the good folks over here at the Congress decided to go ahead and have a hearing in which they decided to go ahead and call up HUD Secretary Ben Carson and decided to talk with him about housing and urban development at the Financial Services Committee oversight hearing in Washington on Tuesday. And apparently he confused the term REO, meaning HUD real estate owned, of course, with Oreo, a cookie. And of course, he was talking about with freshman, Representative Katie.
Hello.
Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Okay, who's it?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Karl Krentzel. How are you?
Brian, what can I do for you?
Yes, sir. I'm not sure if I have the right place, so I apologize in advance. Are you the fellow who owns that home on Coral Bells?
For the moment, but it's going to be selling by the end of the day.
Oh, well, congratulations. Okay, so you've already sold it then?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, congratulations. Was it sold on the multiple listing service, or did you sell it to somebody else, or how did that work out?
Well, we had it with our agent, but he never put it in multiple listings.
Oh.
And it was, I don't know, there's a certain term where you don't do that.
Right. Abandonment.
Yeah, so,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're coming today, and 6 o'clock this evening we're signing the papers.
Okay, so I guess I'm not understanding it. Are you saying that you've sold it to somebody privately?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With another realtor.
Oh, okay. You've listed it with another realtor for sale, is what you're saying.
I
But
listed with a realtor, but it wasn't in multiple listings.
right.
And the people that bought it had their own agent.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I understand. Okay, great. Well, congratulations on that. Well, good for you. That's awesome. Okay. Well, listen, do you
Well,
have,
thank
yeah, do you happen to know of anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash since I got you here?
No, I sure don't.
Okay, no problem. Well, listen, congratulations
All right.
on your sale. Okay. Have a great day. Bye-bye. All right. Let's see. All right. So boom. Okay. There we go. And move on. All right. So yeah, Katie Porter, a Democrat from California, asked him about REO property, and he apparently either misheard her or did not understand her, or just flat out wasn't aware of the term REO property. And which, of course, everybody had to make a huge tweet storm about it and a big deal about how this guy was such a fool and he didn't even know anything about a REO property and what a REO property is. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I think it just really annoys me. I mean, despite what people may think about President Trump or policies or his administration, that's not the point that I'm trying to get at. It's just frustrating to me when you see people, say, well, gosh, I'm reading this right here, literally out of a boing boing article written by somebody. I don't even know who the assassin piece is written by, but that's typically the way it's written. I mean, you've got something written by somebody who doesn't even have their name on it, but essentially it says Ben Carson, who is not known for being the sharpest knife in the drawer, made a real doozy of a gaffe today on Capitol Hill. Are you serious? Are you serious? Ben Carson, who is not known for being the sharpest knife in the drawer? The man is a neurosurgeon. Are you telling me the man who is a neurosurgeon, who can apparently manage all these other things, just because he...
Hello?
Oh, hey there. This is Karl. How are you?
Who's Karl?
Oh, I'm sorry. I owe you an apology. It sounds like I might have the wrong number. I was looking for the Kaplans. They own some property on Lone Flower. My name is Karl Krentzel.
Yeah, we decided not to sell. Please stop calling me.
Oh, I can't blame you there. Well, listen, do you happen to know of anybody else in that area I could buy a home from for cash? Do you know anybody who's got an unwanted property in there?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, I can't say that I blame you. That's a beautiful property right there. I can't say that I blame you for not wanting to sell. If you had sold it, where were you going to go next? Were you staying here in town, or were you taking off, or what was the plan?
That's too much information. Just
no problem. No problem. Well,
right.
one quick last question. If at what price would you become a seller?
It's not for sale, sir.
All right. Well, fair enough. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, Robert. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Right. Well, I suppose you could say that you could push that, right? But I mean, the man's told me 3 times he doesn't have any interest in selling his home. He doesn't know anybody who wants cash for their home, and he wouldn't be a...
Hello.
Oh, hey there. This is Karl. How are you?
Is this real, Karl?
No, this is
Is
real.
this
Yeah,
real
this is real. Actually,
Karl, or are you a scammer that I'm not
no,
paying up on?
no. I'm actually a real person. The reason why I kind of hesitated because it sounds like I might actually have the wrong person. My name's Karl Krentzel. I was actually looking for the owner of a home on Sunny Ridge. Is that your property?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Okay. Well, listen, my name's Karl. I'm a broker here in town. I'll be very brief. I buy property in town.
Yes.
Is that property still for sale?
I'm with an agent.
Perfect. That's what I wanted
I'm
to know.
under contract.
Hey, congratulations. Yep. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day. Okay.
I knew it.
Uh-huh. There we go. Boom. All right. Keep on trucking. So to say that Ben Carson is not the sharpest knife in the drawer because he didn't know what an REO was, REO, real estate owned. It's not exclusively a HUD term. It's also a term that is used amongst other banks as well. And to be quite honest with you, I bet you I could go into this office right here and ask 10 brokers, 10 realtors, and I bet you only 2 or maybe 1, maybe 2 would know what an REO is. And we're talking brokers and real estate agents who work in the business. Dr. Carson is an administrative position. He's not going to know REO or versus this or that. Little bank terms, he's got some guy that's going to tell him that. Look, I don't remember who it was. I think it was I don't know if it's Henry Ford or somebody else, but somebody had he had accused somebody of he had said that they were an idiot. This is like back in the day, and so they had taken him to court, and they were saying, well, gosh, they were trying to show how stupid he was by asking him a bunch of inane questions. And they'd ask him questions like, well, gosh, how many British came over in the initial Civil War? And he'd say things like, well, I don't know. It was more than left to go back, or things of that nature. And eventually they frustrated him to the point where he said, look, I don't know the answers to your specific questions, but don't you know I have a button on my desk where I can press and get the answers I need within 2 minutes? Don't you know this is the economy? This is the day and age where you can pick up a phone and learn what you need to know in seconds. You don't need to fill your brain with useless information and dumb little, anecdotes so you can play gotcha on a congressional floor. This is exactly why we can't go anywhere in our society, because we have people fighting over the minutia of term. And it's just absolute nonsense to me. And regardless of your political affiliations, it's just dumb to me. Anyway, I move on. All right, so let's move on now. We've gone through all the expireds. Looks like we've just called through all of them. It's taken us a little bit of time. I believe we've called through all of the canceleds as well. Let's just double check that. Yes, we have in fact called through all the cancels. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do my, let's go ahead and call, let's call some for sale by owners. Let's take a quick look. Yes. Okay, so we're going to call all these for sale by owners. Not sure what's going to happen, but I'm excited to see. So let's find out. So we got some for sale by owners right here. Not too many of them. Looks like we got 24 of them. 24 for sale by owners. So now we're getting into the for sale by owner section. We've spent the first little while calling expired listings. Now we're out of expired listings, and now we're stepping into the for sale by owner range. So if you've got for sale by owners on your mind, you'll definitely want to check this out. So stepping back into the stories, let's go ahead and get going with Housing Wire's article. Housing Wire came up with an article from the Wall Street Journal stating that, quote, that wave of millennial home buyers may never come crashing. That wave of Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi, my name's Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Well, who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Karl Krentzel. How are you?
And you're calling because?
Well, I might be wrong, but I understand you might have a property that's for sale over there on Winding Desert. Is that correct?
That's correct. Are you a realtor?
Well, yes, sir. I'm a realtor, but I also buy property. Is that? I'm not quite sure on it. It looks like it was $37 million. I guess that was a misprint, and then I guess you brought it down to 373.5. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That
So,
was not my mistake. That was Zillow's mistake.
oh, no worries. That happens sometimes. That's no big deal. And I understand it's up there in Downton. Wow, is that right?
That's correct.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay. Well, I'm curious. When you sell this property, where are you going next? Are you staying here in town, or are you taking off? What's the plan?
Okay. Can you tell me where this conversation is headed?
Yes, sir. Because if
Because I really don't want to list it with somebody.
well, good, because I don't want to list your home either. That makes us even. The reason why I'm asking, it's a good question. The reason why I'm asking is I want to make sure that I don't make you homeless. You've got a place to go if I sell your home, right?
Now, you just said if you sold my home.
Yeah, if I brought a buyer by your home who wanted to buy it, I wanted to make sure that you have a place to go. That's why I was asking.
But you're not a realtor.
No, I mentioned I am a realtor, a broker who buys homes. That's what I said. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, and I'm not trying to get too personal or anything. Don't get me wrong. I was just making sure that you had a.
Trying to find out what we're really talking about here.
No problem.
What would you like?
Well, I was just making sure, first of all, that you have a place to go if I sold your house, if I brought a person by, and it sounds like you have a place to go after this. Is that right?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. How much time do you think you'd need to move if someone was to come along and make an offer?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. I appreciate that. No problem. So hypothetically, if one of my buyers, let's just say, wanted to buy your property and it didn't cost you anything, you didn't have to pay any commissions or anything like that, and if they could come to a price and a terms that you would agree with, how much time would you want them to put down as far as a closing date? Have you even given that any thought at all?
Well,
I know it's kind of a lot of questions all first thing in the morning, and I apologize.
well, it's really strange.
Mhm. Well, it just saves me the trouble of driving out to your house, knocking on your door. That's all. Thought I'd call you first.
Well, I hardly know how to answer your question because we're in the throes of downsizing,
Okay.
and we have not even decided how downsizing. And the problem is you really don't sound like you have a ready buyer.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I never said that I did, and I'm not saying that I do.
know.
Yeah, I don't want to lie to you. I want to be upfront with you in the beginning. I've not said that I have one, and I don't know that I would. But I guess what I'm getting at is that okay, maybe another way to put it is this: let's say, if I brought somebody who'd pay you that 370, 3.5, or whatever price you guys would agree with, would you pay some kind of commission on that?
Well, I think that if you're a broker,
I
and
am.
you bring someone and we make a deal,
Mhm.
I would say 2.5%.
Okay, great. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? Let's make it simple. Why don't I just swing by at a time that's convenient for you and your wife, and I'll introduce myself. I'll take a quick look at your property, and I'll get out of your hair. How about that? Have you got some time?
You can come and preview the property. Just give me some lead time.
Oh, great. What does your afternoon look like today? Have you got some time today, or would tomorrow be better, you think?
I have another broker coming at 12.
Okay. Well, then why don't I swing by? I don't imagine they're going to be there for too long. I mean, they're not going to be there an hour, are they?
You never know. I doubt it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I do this? Why don't I show up at 1, and that'll kind of make sure they leave. How about that? And then I'll get out of your hair. How about that? Will that help?
Why don't you make it 2?
2 it is.
Why don't you make it at 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock it is. That's fair. All right. And my name was Karl, by the way. I'm sorry. I never did catch your name.
Chuck.
Chuck, pleasure to meet you, Chuck. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate the laugh, and you certainly brought a smile to my face today, Chuck. I appreciate your humor on this. I will look forward to seeing you at your property at 5428 and today at 2:00. Okay.
Thank you very much,
All
Karl.
right, sir. You have a great day. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, so 780. Okay, so with this particular circumstance, okay, he's a nice guy. The problem is, it sounds like, and I might be wrong, but it sounds like that he's a little older, and it sounds like they haven't really thought this through. And where he is is a nice area, but he doesn't have a lot of time left because it's one of those areas that is a 55 and older type community, and people who are moving into that area typically they're gone. Really.
Hello?
Oh, good morning. This is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, there we go. Sorry
Your
about
voice
that.
works.
It was my fault. I probably didn't have my mouth close enough to the microphone. I apologize.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
My name's Karl
How can
Krentzel.
I help you?
Yes, ma'am. No worries. My name's Karl Krentzel. I'm a broker here in town who buys properties. I noticed you had your property on Scorpius Place for sale a while back. Is that still for sale, or did you end up selling that already?
Yeah, I'm selling it, and it's been in the market less than a month. It's 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Where do you see it, on Zillow or on the MLS?
On Zillow. Yes, ma'am. Is it on the multiple listing service?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It
okay.
is.
Great.
I paid a fee. I paid the flat fee to appear on the MLS.
Okay, great. Well, then I will go ahead and I will look it up right now and see what it has to offer. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
So one of the things that's helpful, I think, to do when you're talking to for sale by owners, especially, she just came out with it right away. Yeah, you can check it out on the multiple listing service. Where'd you see it or whatever? You could ask them, but
Hello?
Hey there, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
I'm okay.
I think I have the wrong
can
number.
I
I'm
help
looking.
you?
Yeah, I think I got the wrong number. I'm looking for Frank. Is Frank around?
No, you got the wrong number.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, brother. You have a great day. Okay.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So I didn't even bother going after that fellow because he is a for sale by owner that was built this last 6 months ago. And so he's a brand new build that's not going to have any equity of any kind that I can work with. So I don't even feel the desire to go after that one. So in any event, with for sale by owners, hey, Greg, Karl Krentzel, how are you?
Good.
I'm not sure if I've got the right fellow. I apologize in advance. Are you the guy who happens to own that property for sale on Z Street?
I am.
Wonderful, wonderful. I understand it's for sale by owner. I'm a broker here in town who buys properties.
It's not. It's listed. It's listed with an agent.
Oh, perfect, great. And I can check it out on MLS then. Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. I will. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I'd like to get an offer from you.
All right. All right. You have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write that down. When people say something like that to me, love to get an offer from you, and that's the homeowner telling me that, okay, well, maybe we'll take a look at it. I mean, when you were a for sale by owner, right? And now you're telling me, well, gosh, give me an offer. I personally would not like it if my sellers would tell people who call them that, like my listings. I would hate it if I have a listing and an investor or somebody calls up and then they say, yeah, give me an offer. That's definitely not what I want you to do. Holy cow. Yeah, I will definitely check it out. And you might get an offer because, hey, you know what? Just because it's on the multiple listing service does not mean that it is it is out of the realm of possibility. I've bought plenty property from the multiple listing service and wholesale it out or flip it. So, so now let's get back to the Wall Street Journal, saying that the wave of millennial home buyers may never. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi. This is Karl. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Thanks. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I'm actually looking for the owners of a home over there on Wheatfield. Is that your property?
It is.
Oh, great. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm a broker here in town. I noticed it was on the market. Is it still available, or did you end up selling that, or whatever happened with that?
It is. We have sale pending.
Hey, congratulations. Well, good for you. Good deal. Okay. Do you happen to know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
I don't.
No problem. It is kind of an odd question, so no worries. And you said you got yours under contract. It's already pending.
Yep.
Well, hallelujah, hallelujah. You guys
so
got
it went on the market on Friday, and we had an all cash offer by 10 o'clock. It sold in 4 hours.
Well, God bless your heart. If you don't mind me asking, how much were you asking for the house?
205.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, listen, God bless you both. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Okay.
Thanks. You too.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. There we go. Boy, there's just so many thoughts that are kind of coming through my head all at once here. I mean, you got for sale by owners and things I wanted to mention to you. And then we got this Wall Street Journal thing. I hope that you don't mind. I'm just going to try and finish these thoughts as I can. One of the things I think that's important to recognize with for sale by owners, it's important to distinguish whether or not they're listed quickly. Many people will go ahead and put their properties on the market, and what they'll do is they will use one of those discount brokerages, pay them $400 or $500 or whatever the amount is and get it on the multiple listing service, which is all fine and good, unless, of course, your multiple listing service is like mine and requires that you have an exclusive right to sell. So in order for your listing to go on the multiple listing service, at least in my multiple listing service and most multiple listing services that I know, in order for that to actually happen, you have to have an exclusive right to sell. Without the exclusive right to sell, it does not go in the multiple listing service. So what ends up happening then, discount brokerages will get that under an exclusive right to sell for $500 or whatever it is, put it in the multiple listing service, and then you as a agent or a broker, a full service broker trying to help them, you can't help them in a listing capacity because they've already been listed, essentially. So it's the reason why I bring that up is so that you will identify quickly who is a for sale by owner. If you're an agent, identify who they are quickly so that you will be able to go ahead and eliminate them as a prospect, at least as a listing prospect. Now, if you're a wholesaler.
This is Bob.
Hey, Karl Krentzel again. How are you today?
Very good, Karl. How are you doing?
Boy, I tell you, I am still better than I deserve. I just had you on my heart today. I just thought I would reach out and see how things were coming along on this sale. How things going?
I think things are going well.
Yeah.
We don't have an offer yet, but we've had some actually good conversations. So I think we're happy with the direction we're at right now, or the place we're at right now.
Right. I remember you had mentioned, as I recall, you had mentioned something about that you would be listing the property if you weren't able to sell it somewhere towards the end of May. Is that correct?
Probably. We would probably consider it in June, maybe sometime, but we haven't really talked about that too much lately. Just because of we've had pretty good traffic and both buyers and realtors with buyers, so that's great.
But the only reason why I'm asking is because I'm sure you noticed the well, maybe you didn't, I don't know. I mean, I'm in the business, I kind of noticed these things. Anyway, the monthly existing home sales had fallen for the first time in 7 years in April.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I saw the report on that. That's a kind of a national number, but yeah, I saw it.
Well, the reason why I brought that up is because what they discovered is that year over year, the month to month increase that we've been having. Zillow did a report on this. You could do it you could check it out at Zillow. It's their first quarter homebuyer report. But basically, what it says is this: that out of the 35 metropolitan areas that they market to and study, 34 of them were either stable or had decreased. 2 of them were stable, and 32 of them, I believe, had decreased in value, and only 1 had gone up in value out of the 35 metropolitan areas that they market. And one of them was Phoenix. And the reason why I bring this up to you is because that for the last 7 years, month over month over month over month, we've had increase over increase over increase, but it has slowed down for the first time in the last 6 months and has finally actually reversed for the first time last quarter. Now, it's not because,
right.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is not because to scare you or, gosh, the sky is falling. No, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because I know that you're a smart guy. You've been in this game a while and you can recognize the signs just as well as I do. It's not people, you know how it is every year, people putting their homes on the market right after the first of the year and then selling and then going to, Cabo San Lucas or whatever, and then coming back and buying another home. That's always the way it's been. What's different this year, as opposed to the previous 6-7 years, the people that put their home on the market in the spring market have not been able to sell. Their listings have been pooling. And so what's ultimately happening is people like yourself who are deciding to put their home on the market in June or later on, you're adding to that pool. So anytime you have more of anything, the less it's worth. That's just basic economics.
Right.
And I thought I would bring that to your attention because I know that we've been talking about your property, and I know that you don't have to sell, but you do want to sell, and you do want to sell at the highest price possible. And I think it's certainly a good idea that we revisit this idea about getting the top buyers in your property from around the globe. It certainly would be a good idea for us to sit down and talk about it again.
Right.
So
have you talked to any buyers that are interested? This is particularly a great horse property out here. And that's been most of the interest that we've had, which is totally in line with what we would expect or what I would expect.
It's funny you should mention that. I was literally on the phone 2 days ago, and then I went and visited a fellow whose home had expired from the market, and his name was Brett. And he is looking to buy horse property as well. Now he has $500,000. Well, his property is $700,000 over there by La Cebadia area, and his particular property didn't sell. I think it was on the market with another realtor, I want to say for 7 months, and it didn't sell. And ultimately, what he ended up doing is buying property in Saurita. He could buy 5 acres for $140,000. And had a little mobile home on there, and then they're just building. You know what I mean? People are able to go out to like La Corona de Tucson, Marana. I mean, a lot of these outlying areas, and they're able to get all kinds of crazy land. The biggest challenge I think that people have, and this is just from my experience in the business here of over 23 years, that there is a limit to the price that people will pay. And when they start to see certain things in the environment, in the financial environment start to change as far as houses go, they become reluctant. And many times what they need is, you might have a lot of people coming through your property. You might even have a lot of brokers coming through with good conversations and talking to you. But without somebody who's actually pushing people and then turning them upside down and shaking all the dimes and nickels out of them, it's difficult for you to get the money you say you need. I mean, I recognize I'm a salesman, but I'm trying to speak to you the truth the best I see it, if that makes sense. And I hope that from our meeting, I'm kind of a straight shooter, hopefully.
Yeah, no, and we are, I think, going down a path. I understand the concerns and kind of the current economics, and actually there's some trends there that they don't quite understand. And
no. That's actually they understand precisely that's the mistake. Actually, they understand precisely what the problem is. The problem, is not that there's so much that there's homes. It's that you've seen historically low mortgage rates, combined with this pent up demand to buy. But the problem is that you've got unprecedented student debt that hinders millennial buyers, that makes it impossible for them to buy the lower end up homes, which ends up the middle managers to buy up the bigger homes. It's a systemic issue, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. So, well, we'll keep an eye on it. I think our path is still. I think we're still pretty committed to our path,
okay,
which is to see how things go for the next few weeks and kind of adjust to what we see are changes and or not. And we're not. I'm going to say we've priced our house not to get. You kept going back to the top price. Well, we're not. I think we're pricing our home fairly,
mm-hmm.
and I don't think we're trying to stretch the market at all here.
Well, no, I think what I mean.
So that's kind of our position has been. Let's just do what seems to be right, and what would we do if we were buyers in the neighborhood, and
mm-hmm.
and if that changes, up or down, we'll roll with it.
Well, I think that's a very accurate way to put it, and I would add to that to be more accurate, when I say the highest net price, I'm not necessarily referring to the highest sales price. What I'm referring to is the fact that the house sells at all, or that the house sells.
Okay.
I mean, admittedly, you don't need a realtor to give it away. I mean, anybody could do that. Anybody could give it away.
Yeah.
I guess what I mean by this is I mean, exactly. I guess what I mean is
I've already had those phone calls too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I guess what I meant by that was, by to get the highest dollars is simply that to get the property closed in such a time that you're able to go ahead and move in the way you want to without having it fall through. Anybody can get a contract. Right. You can get a contract. You can put your home on the market out there with a sign and get someone to write a contract for you. That's not a problem. Having somebody close, that's harder. 51% of the properties that go on the multiple listing service do not sell the first time around. And that's on the multiple listing service. Over half of them do not sell. Yeah, a lot of people don't recognize it. A lot of people think you just put the home on the market and it sells. And if it was that easy, we'd all be rich and there'd never be an expired listing. The truth is, there's a lot of broke realtors out there and there's tons of expired listings. If that makes sense.
Right.
All right. When's a good time we could get together and chat again about your place?
You know what? It's kind of you let me know. I think we're pretty committed to trying to do this ourselves.
I know, but at least it would be a good idea for us to at least chat again and then revisit the market, because since the last time we talked, the market's certainly changed. Why don't I come out with some fresh comps and take a look at your property and we can talk again? If it makes you feel better, well, I'm not going to bring a listing content. I won't twist your arm or anything like that. We can just talk.
Yeah.
You want to get together?
I would be interested in having the conversation more on the buyer side.
Okay.
Because Sotheby's has has a great network.
Yes, sir.
And how if you were had a chance to market this, to market it not from a listing side but from a buyer side to find buyers for us. How do you what does Sotheby's have that help from a buyer client standpoint?
Okay. Well, why don't I do this? I don't mind. Why don't I think this might actually help. Why don't I bring some fresh comparables so you can kind of get an overall view just to make sure nothing is essentially changed? Because I'll be honest, I've not looked in the last 3 weeks as what's going on in your neighborhood. I'll bring some fresh ones.
Karl, I think we've been talking to multiple brokers, and we've got some really good information on all that.
Then what I'll do, the other thing,
quite a bit. So I don't think I need any of that.
All right,
then I think it's probably just a repeat from everything on MLS.
All right, no problem. Then what I can bring is the other thing I can bring is the schedule of all the places we market and how we actually get the buyers, and maybe even some metrics to kind of put them in perspective, if that helps. And that way you can have even more to chew on. Would something like that help?
Yeah. And then I would say obviously there's a commission for the buy side on this.
Mm-hmm.
And are you now? So we're not on MLS, but we are on Zillow, and MLS may be something that we decide to do in the next 2 weeks, but that's going to be just as a contract MLS sort of thing too, because people offer that.
Right. Yeah. One of the $500 places or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
That's not we have no commitment there yet.
Yeah.
But,
no, it's okay. I've been around.
That's kind of the next logical step.
Yeah. No, I've been around 20 years. I know.
Right now, this house is for sale.
Right.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you get potentially a 3% commission if you find a buyer for it.
Right.
Which is probably more than
it's a considerable amount of money.
Just to list the house.
It's a considerable amount. Mm-hmm.
So that means you've got a competitive advantage a little bit in the marketplace. And this is kind of the same conversation I've had with our other folks that we've talked to. I said, well, it's for sale. Are you going to try to find a buyer for it? Because you've got you can help us because you've got that network. And there's money in that for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to help us on that side?
Okay. I can be happy to cover that. How about Thursday afternoon, like 3:00, or would like 4 or 5 be better? You think? What kind of time frame are we thinking?
It's a crazy week.
I know, right?
I think we could. Yeah. Let's see. That Thursday's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Or would like Friday, like 11? I've got.
I think Friday right now. I'm trying to think what our schedule is. My wife's schedule. She's not here.
Because the afternoon.
Can't look at her and
afternoon Friday, I'm here at the office. We have a lot of walk-in clients that come in here to Sotheby's, and I'm here answering those clients when they come in on Friday afternoon. So I could meet with you Thursday, or I could meet with you Saturday. On Sunday, I have church, and then I have $1 million home I'm holding open, and then I have church again. So Sunday's all out. But then I could meet Monday. Yeah. Which would work better for you?
Let's go for Monday, because actually what usually happens is what's been happening, and it's kind of starting to warm up this week, because usually the weekends are real busy here.
Okay, now just as a quick reminder, Memorial Day is Monday. I'm cool with that if you are. But some people, they have cookouts and stuff.
I'm cool with that. We're here.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure you weren't going to be at a cookout or something. All right. Well, what time would work for you?
No, we're here.
No worries.
Actually, in holidays, now that I'm retired, I like to stay home on the holidays because there's not too much traffic out there.
Amen. I hear you there. I don't know. Would 11 o'clock be good? Noon? Or do you prefer something later? What works?
Yeah, let's say. Let me think about this. Monday in the afternoon would be better, not Monday morning.
Okay. 2 o'clock? 4?
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock it is.
Let's say 2 o'clock Monday.
Okay, great. Well, then what I'll do is I'll just come on out. And as I said, I'll just say hi. I'll show you some of the things that we do and answer the questions that, that come up between now here and there. I mean, if you have any other questions, by all means, write them down. And, we'll just chat about it. It'll be super non-threatening. And I'll tell you, if it's okay with you, now be honest with me. All right. You're not going to list your home with me. I don't need to bring a listing presentation or anything like that.
No, we're not going to.
Okay. So then it's cool if I just come over in my regular clothes.
No, Karl, I can't.
Tie, or if you're going to be all right if I come over in my regular clothes.
Well, good. We're good. This is a very casual home. You know that.
Okay, good. Well, I just hate to think it's Memorial Day. I'm wearing a suit. So, all right, good. Well, then I'll just swing by at 2 o'clock on Monday, and we'll just take a quick look. I'll go over that stuff with you, and then we'll just say hi and enjoy Memorial Day together. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Karl.
All right, guy. You have a great day. Okay.
I will.
Thanks for taking my call. And say hey to your wife for me.
Okay, well.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So if you're watching that one, so that particular circumstance, I have met him once before, and he is a super nice guy, but he's a for sale by owner, just like every other for sale by owner. They want to think about it. And, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about how a lot of times they want to do that whole pay $500 thing. And look, it's absolutely normal. That's 100% normal. They do it every single time. Don't get freaked out about it. And the reason why is because when they do that,
I can't answer my phone right now.
they've not committed to it. They're just saying, gosh, we're kind of thinking about it. And that's normal. Normal.
Hello.
Hi, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Okay.
I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. Are you the fellow who happens to own that property on Sunstream?
Yes, I am.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, my name's Karl Krentzel. I'm a broker here in town. I'm curious, is that property still for sale by owner, or is it listed? Did you sell it? Whatever happened with that?
It's still on Zillow for sale by owner.
Okay, perfect. No worries. All right. And it looks like the last time I guess it was on the market here, it looks like it was what oh goodness, how much were you asking for this? I think it's 270,000. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, very quickly, if again, I'm a broker here in town, if I brought somebody by who'd pay you, a price and terms that you'd be okay with, would you pay some form of commission for that?
Well, I get a lot of calls from real estate agents and all that stuff.
I bet.
And I've just put it on the market to see. I'm not going to list it with anybody for the next couple of months, if at all.
Okay.
Basically, I don't need to sell it. I just thought maybe my wife and I would downsize because it's just the two of us and 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So, like I say, if something comes along, fine. If not, then we'll just stay where we're at.
I understand.
So I'm not going to list it with anybody right now. So,
okay. Well, that certainly makes sense. I get it. I mean, and what I'm basically hearing is that, you and your wife kind of thought, gosh, the market's pretty good. Let's maybe see if we can sell it and maybe get something a little smaller. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, well, it's not the end of the world because you didn't pack up anything anyway.
Right.
I understand.
So, like I say, that's all I'm doing. And, I've got a couple people that were interested, but I got to sell their house first. So, like I say, that's fine. But, it's coming into the summer season with our pool, and we're kind of enjoying the pool. We got a labradoodle that likes to swim in the pool.
It's kind of,
if we sold the house, she'd be upset, like, where's my pool?
I know it's kind of hard to turn that down. I hear you. Well, gosh, what have you guys been looking for any other property? Have you seen anything?
No, we're, kind of looking down, got a couple kids that live in the Vale area. So maybe going down to a 2-bedroom down in the Vale area someplace, So.
Okay. Have you been finding anything lately? Have you got any contracts or anything?
I put in contract. I'm nothing, I just go on Zillow and it pops up when there's something available and I look at it and okay. So, whenever things happen, if it happens, then we'll get serious about looking at something down there. So.
Okay. So basically if something came up down there that looked like it would actually work for you, then maybe you might take it a little bit more seriously, but kind of as of the moment, it's just kind of been on the periphery.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. What, may I ask what sort of property you're looking for down there? Like bedrooms, baths?
2-bedroom.
Okay.
And small house, the bigger yard, maybe put a pool in. We like the pool. The dogs like the pool. So,
what kind of dogs have you got?
Got a labradoodle.
Oh my gosh.
3 others.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking, I met somebody the other day on the other side of town with a labradoodle, and I thought perhaps it might have been the same one. They had a labradoodle. It was like I don't even remember the kind. It's different shades on the coat. like a speckled color or something. But anyway, beautiful dog. All right. Well, listen. So
they're good dogs. Yeah, I got them trained. She brings in the groceries and gets the newspaper. She likes that to do stuff like that.
Okay.
Likes to go for a ride in the car. I got an RV out of DM.
Oh.
We take it out to the RV storage area and let them run. They love that.
You mentioned something that you have your RV out at the at DM. Are you former military?
I'm retired military. Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah. Well, thank you for your service. I am also. Just one more question about that. Would you happen to also be a member of USAA?
Yes, I am.
You know, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I'm a member of myself. I'm a Navy corpsman. Well, I was a Navy corpsman attached to the Marine unit during Desert Storm. And when I came back, I joined USAA right away as soon as I found out I was eligible. And what I discovered is that you can actually get a cash back benefit to yourself using a USA benefit to sell your property and even buy another one. Did you know that?
A cash back benefit.
Yeah. So essentially what happens is this. If hypothetically, and again, this is a big what if, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. My name was Karl. I never did catch your first name.
It was Randy.
Randy. All right, Randy. Pleasure to meet you. Well, Randy, the USAA, and you can check this with your USAA benefit people, or I can have someone from there call you. But basically the way it works is simply this, that if you decide to sell your property with a USAA certified agent like myself, then you get a portion of my commission back at the sale of your property. So when your property closes, I don't know, I think it's like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks later, something like that. You'll either get do you have your account also at USAA or like your savings and stuff too, or is it just your insurances?
Oh, no, everything's there.
Okay, yeah. So most people are, right? So what they'll do is they'll just shoot you the cash back from the commission right into your account at USA. They'll just wire that bad boy right in there. And then if you turn around and buy another house, okay, then the same thing goes. So, you know, it's a really good benefit if you're in USAA. And a lot of people, and I don't know if this is your situation, many people it is, but, you know, every dollar counts, especially when you're trying to buy another property. And if you're trying to buy another property, well, you definitely need the money, right? You need the money when you're buying, you need the money when you're selling, and USAA can help you on both, and they want to. And that's why I'm asking. You know, I'll tell you what.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? I don't mind. Why don't I swing by, take a quick look at your property? It sounds like what I'm hearing you say is that you're not opposed to working with a realtor. It's just a situation where things kind of, the stars have to kind of align and you got to get everything in motion for it to work. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I'm not ready for a realtor to swing by because that kind of commits me to that realtor. So,
well, I'm not
ready yet.
Well, so. let me be clear, Randy. I'm not wanting your listing. As a matter of fact, I don't want your listing. If it makes you feel better,
it's on Zillow, so you can see can see the house on Zillow. So.
Well, the reason why
the
reason why I was
ready for people to come in and look at it right now.
No problem. Well, the reason why I was just even suggesting it is because it sounds to me like if somebody came to me like right now and said, gosh, you know, I'm looking to buy something in that area and I've got some time to wait to close. You know, I can wait in a couple months while they find a house or whatever. And I got the 275 or 80 or whatever it is to pay you for the place. It sounds like you'd want me to bring them by. Am I correct?
No. I'm not ready to talk to realtors yet. Not ready to, you know, I'm looking for that guy that comes over from California, just sold his house, got $270,000 cash, and we can do a quick sale. And, you know, so. But, you know, give me a call in, you know, another couple months. I'll see if anything's changed. Okay.
No worries. Randy, very briefly, what if you knew that by waiting 2 months to do that? I know that, you know, for your interest, you're not particularly interested in selling your home, you said, but what if you knew by waiting for 2 months, you'd actually lose $20,000, $30,000 worth of value if you knew that that was going to happen, would you still want to wait?
Yeah, because then I wouldn't sell. So
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
I don't need to.
All right.
I
well,
don't need
listen.
to, so.
Well, since I got you here
All right,
right
I
now,
appreciate
anyway.
you calling.
Yeah, since I got you here anyway, Randy, do you know anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash and close in 30 days?
Unwanted? No, I don't. No.
All right, cool. Well, listen, keep
Don't
my
know
number.
anybody like that.
Keep my number handy there, Randy. You'll definitely want to contact your people over at USAA, because if you're wanting to sell your property, then this is a really good benefit. You'll definitely want to use it and take advantage of it because it can help you. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, I thought we had one there. Guess not. Boy. Okay. So,
Hi, this is what you roll. For the moment, I can't answer the phone, but if you leave a message, I will return your call.
okay. Somebody had written a question. Anthony. Yeah, thank you. What presentation are you going to bring to address the process?
Hello.
Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Who's this?
I'm sorry. My name is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Okay. Well, where are you from?
Yes, sir. My name's Karl Krentzel. I'm a broker here in town who buys properties. I'm over here at Sotheby's International. I'm calling about a property you had on Beecher's Fall Way. Is that still available?
I have it listed with an agent already.
Oh, perfect. No wonder. I can find it. I can find it on MLS then.
You can.
Outstanding. Thank you. I'll look it up.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a great day. Okay. Boom. All right. Keep on trucking. So the question is from Anthony. Yeah, exactly. He's not motivated at all. So Anthony wrote, what presentation are you going to bring to address this prospect's concern? He doesn't want to list. However, he wants to bring a buyer.
Yes.
Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Who's calling?
I'm sorry. My name is Karl Krentzel. How are you?
And why are you calling?
Well, as I understand it, I might be wrong, and I frequently am, but as I understand it, you have a property for sale over there on Candleberry Way. Am I right?
Yes, and if you're a buyer, I'm interested. If you're a realtor, I'm not.
I am a buyer, and I also am a realtor who is a broker. So that puts us at a bit of a strange quandary. Are you still wanting to talk to me?
Not if you're going through a realtor.
Well, that doesn't really make much sense. I'm buying the property, but I also am employed. But I'm also employed as a broker. So it puts me at a. It's a joke, dude. Relax.
Well,
so
no problem.
My name's Karl. You're still looking to sell, right?
So are you in Tucson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I am. So the property is $237,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good deal. If you don't mind me asking, is it vacant or is it occupied? Are you guys living in there? Rentals? What's the plan with that?
Oh, the plan is to sell it.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, is because it appears that it's vacant. Is that correct?
That could be, but I'm not quite sure how that affects what we're talking about now.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because if it's currently vacant, then I can trust the pictures that are on the Zillow, which show it to be vacant. But I also know that I've bought property that appeared to be vacant, and it's not vacant. It's actually tenants, and those are pictures from the previous. So I guess my question is it currently got tenants in there, and does it look the way it currently looks?
Okay, the pictures are the accurate rendition of the physical condition of the house as it now exists.
Okay. All right. Good. So it's currently vacant. All right. Good deal. So the kitchen I'm looking at, it looks like it has just sort of regular Corian counters and just regular type appliances. The flooring to be, I guess, is just a sort of an inlaid sort of thing. Did you guys do any other kind of upgrades to this property?
No, it's basically what it is. There's no upgrade.
Okay. And I'm wondering, may I ask how you folks determined the sales price of this property? It looks like you're asking $237 for this area or for this home.
Comps.
That's interesting because the comps for the area, the Zestimate says it's only worth 230. How did y'all come to 237?
No. That's Zillow's estimation.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it.
Estimation. That's Zillow's estimation. That is correct.
Okay.
But Zillow's estimation is not correct because one is sold down the street for 249, one is sold down the street for 235.
Okay.
Or 254. I'm sorry.
Okay. So those are the multiple listing service sales, is what you're going by.
Those are comps when they sell.
The ones that were sold by agents, you mean?
Yes, those were sold by agents.
Gotcha.
At those prices. So in my estimation, that's a comparable price.
Okay, so I'm gonna screw with this guy a little bit. He's not motivated at all. He's just being a jerk. So we're gonna have fun. I see. Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you a quick question. If I was to make an offer today, it appears that's in good shape. If I wanted to go take a look at it, in the next day or so and made an offer and closed, if I wanted to close in the next 30 days, would that pose a problem for you?
No.
Okay, good deal. If I was to purchase it all cash, no commissions, as is, you wouldn't have to do any repairs or anything like that. We just, give me 5 or 10 days to inspect it or something along those lines. What price do you feel you'd be able to sell it for?
$235.
Okay, maybe I didn't make myself clear. Let me get a little closer to the microphone. If I'm not paying commissions,
You're not paying commissions. First of all, you're not paying commissions now.
No, I'm not paying.
The house is being sold by a.
No. Let me try and repeat this a different way.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. If I was to buy your property exactly the way it is, pay all of your closing costs, not ask for you to pay any commissions, and close on the day you'd want to, what day do you think you'd want to sell it on? And how much do you think you'd want for it?
Why would you underwrite my closing costs?
Well, because if I'm paying all cash, if I pay all of your closing costs, with the exception of, say, your taxes, which you keep current, I assume, then the amount that you and I agree to would be the amount that would go straight to your bank account the day we close. You wouldn't have to worry about, gosh, how much are closing costs? Gosh, how much are commissions? Gosh, how much are repairs or appraisals? No, you wouldn't have to worry about any of that. So my question is, bottom line, how much would you want? And when would you want?
I don't know.
And you don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Okay, because number one, closing costs on my part is about $4,000. Okay.
Well, so that's what I'm telling you is I would pay that.
My escrow agent will handle the sale, period.
Oh, okay.
Whether you pay cash or you don't pay cash,
see.
It goes through my escrow agent.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, enjoy your home. Enjoy your home. I think you're the only person who's going to buy it. Take care. Okay, bye-bye. Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. That was fun. You always got to have a little bit of fun because realistically, you get to see in clear detail why for sale by owners do not sell. Look, this is exactly what I've been telling you. Okay.
Hello.
Hey there. This is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
What are you trying to sell me?
I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to buy something from you.
Okay.
I might be wrong. I might have the wrong guy. So apologize. I apologize in advance. Don't shoot me. Do you have a house for sale over there on Palmer?
I sure do.
Hallelujah. I found you. Thank you, Jesus. All right. Well, listen, my name's Karl Krentzel. I never did catch your name. What's your name, brother?
My name's John.
John, pleasure to meet you. Have you got a second to talk to me about this property?
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm over in California right now, but it's no problem. I just pulled off the freeway. I'm getting ready to go to Edwards Air Force Base.
Okay, well,
go ahead, yeah,
I'll be super fast then. I understand that you're asking $280 for the property. Is that still correct?
Yeah, I can negotiate a little bit. It needs work. I'm going to be very honest with you. It's an older home. I've only been in there for 3 years. I was getting ready to go ahead and redo the kitchen and the bathrooms and stuff. And I started thinking, well, this is ridiculous. I'm moving, and nobody has the same taste.
Amen.
So the house is all the comps in that particular area are going for anywhere from 290 to 315, 320, somewhere around there. A lot of those don't have pools in them. I have the pool in mine, but I mean, the kitchen is functional. Everything works in there. It just needs, a new refrigerator, appliances, and stuff like that. The bathrooms they need to be fixed up. They haven't been fixed probably in 15 to 20 years. Like I say, I've only been in this house for 3 years, but I put a brand new air conditioner on there back in 2017 in May, 2 years ago. I put sunscreens in the back by the pool because it faces the west side to where the sun drops down.
Right.
So it really helps keep that part of the house cooler in the summer. And I put a brand new pool motor on there back in 17 also. Like I say, it's just, and I live there with my son, and he's getting ready to move out. He's 43 years old, and he wants to get on his own. And I do not need that much space for one person. 4 bedrooms. It's a big home. It's 1,900 square feet.
Amen.
And it's a very big, comfortable home. But like I said, I'm being honest with you about the kitchen.
Well, I appreciate that because I appreciate that because I'm the kind of guy who will actually buy those types of properties. I'm a broker here in town. But I also buy them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it works out really well. If it needs work, that's great. When's a good time I can take a look at it?
Well, like I said, I'm in California right now. I'm on my way back to Arizona, but I won't be there till Friday.
Okay.
So, if you want to get a hold of me, I should be in later in the afternoon. But if you'd like to come by or something Saturday or possibly Monday. Well, let's see. Yeah, Monday's the holiday, so
yeah, I'm going to be working.
What's kind of good for you?
I'm going to be working on Monday anyway.
Monday?
I've got an appointment out there on the east side at 2:00 on Monday. I can swing by your place central around, around noon, or would 4 be better? What are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, Monday, if you're on that side of town, noon's fine. I mean,
okay.
Like I said, I've got nothing else to do. So, yeah. Okay, Karl, it's nice talking to you, buddy.
All right. Well, we'll have a hot dog together. You have a great day.
Hey, let me ask you. You said that you finally got a hold of me. Have you been trying to reach me or something?
Well, I wasn't entirely sure if I had the right number. I was kind of calling through a different place, and I wasn't sure. So I wasn't always sure if I had the right number. All right, good.
My number's got that 928 number, and what that is I used to live in Bullhead City, and that's the area code over there. So that's why I kept my phone. So
I understand. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, and you said this. Okay. You said that, and I'm sorry, your name was what again?
John.
All right, John. Well, I look forward to seeing you at noon on Monday. Okay.
Okay, buddy. Take care. Have
yes,
a good
sir.
weekend.
You too. Drive safe out there. Those people are crazy.
Oh yeah. I just come through the Tehachapi Mountains. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's all rainy up there and stuff. But I'm down in the desert here now, so all right.
Well, you drive safe and God bless. All right.
All right.
All right. Take care. Have a great one. Yes, sir. Bye bye.
Right, thanks for the call. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Bye bye. Okay, so boom shakalaka. So we got an appointment set with that one. So I apologize. I've been very, very bad here. And with Anthony, he's been waiting forever. So he said he doesn't want to list the property. However, he wants to bring a buyer for 3%. How do you approach this when going to the home? That was his question from, a while ago, a couple prospects ago. The answer to that question, very simple. Remember, with for sale by owners and expireds, okay? First of all, let me make sure this is on a pause real brief. Yes, it is. Good. That way we won't get interrupted. I want to answer your question. You've been so patient. I appreciate it. All right. So with a for sale by owner, you have to understand, and even an expired listing, okay? The market isn't what it used to be. It used to be when I first started out, I don't know, 23 years ago, but even 15 years ago, it used to be where you could just go to appointments, knock on the door, show them some comps, list the property that day in one shot, and you'd be done. Right? But the market collapsed in 2008 when the market started to collapse and people started losing money left left and right, and banks started collapsing, and people started having problems. What you really started to see is people getting very nervous, and they started asking a lot of questions, and they started interviewing a lot of other people. And so it became very, very, very common in 2008, 9, 10, and even unto this day for people to have multiple appointments, multiple interviews with multiple realtors. And what you have to do many times is you have to just inch your way in. So this for sale by owner that I set an appointment with on Monday, on Memorial Day, the fellow that I'd met before doesn't want the new comps, just wants to know what I'm going to do to bring buyers by. I'll tell you exactly what we do at Sotheby's to bring all those global buyers to your property to help you. But how I'm going to make that happen means that you've got to sign on the dotted line. You see, the problem is people just don't believe. They're firmly convinced in the value of a buyer's broker when you're bringing a buyer to the table. You can see he's like, yeah, 3%, you're going to make more money. And then he brought up this little issue of listing with another agent who's, a $500 agent or whatever. That's very, very common. Don't get distracted by that. Don't get discouraged by that. Just continue to push and just be positive. Be like, oh yeah, no problem. It's no big, because it ain't over till the fat lady sings, and the fat lady ain't even warming up yet. All right, so let's continue. Boy, gosh, we've been getting a lot of contacts today, calling all kinds of for sale by owners. I want to say that we've set 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Hi, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you?
Good.
I'm not sure. I think I was calling about a property over there on Chinaberry Way. Is that your property?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain, so I apologize in advance. My name's Karl Krentzel from Sotheby's International. It seems to me like I met you and your property just the other day. Did I not? Have I seen your property just recently?
It's been a couple weeks at least.
Oh, okay. Is your property now contingent?
It is.
Congratulations.
Oh, well, it's pending.
Congratulations. Good for you.
Thanks.
Outstanding. Since I got you here anyway, do you happen to know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
I don't.
All right. Awesome. Well, listen, congratulations.
I really
and you have a
don't.
wonderful day. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So on that one, I wasn't 100% sure. I thought I had seen her before, but there was something about the problem is with a lot of these for sale by owners, I've seen them before and I've discounted them because they just didn't have enough equity or they were already listed or whatever. And I'm kind of going through an older list here. So, okay. So we've set 3 appointments so far. 1, 2, looks like 2 with for sale by owners, and the first one for 2 o'clock today. I'm not 100% sure what that was. Well, anyway, we've set 3 appointments for today. We've been prospecting here for quite some time, and this is.
Hello?
Hi there. This is Karl.
Hello?
Hi, my name's Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize in advance. Are you the lady who owns the property on Gaia Place?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm calling. I'm a broker here in town who happens to buy property. Is that home still for sale, or did you end up selling that? Whatever happened with it?
Well, I'm selling it to someone, preferably a family.
Oh, perfect.
And it's in a community though, a co-housing community, and it's a kind of a particular niche. People who know what co-housing community is and want to live in co-housing community. That's who it's for.
Okay, perfect. Well, great. Well, listen, congratulations on your sale and best wishes to you, okay?
Okay,
All right,
you.
have a great day.
Right.
God bless.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So, you've been seeing me reference some of the things that we've been going over in the papers here. We've been trying to talk about the monthly existing home sales going down 0.4%. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi. My name's Karl. How are you today?
How can I help you with?
Well, I'm not sure if I've got the right person, so I think I owe you an apology in advance. I was actually looking for the owner of a home that was for sale by owner on Wentworth. Is that your property?
It is not a home and it's vacant property.
Oh, gosh. See, I was totally misinformed. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time anyway. Since I got you here, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you and I hope you have a great day. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Not there we go. Boom. Okay. You heard me say on that appointment, the 3 o'clock one, the FISBO that I'm going to come out and talk to him about what we're going to do to bring buyers to his property. You heard me mention this issue about the National Association of Realtors existing home sales falling slightly from the previous month. A lot of times people tend to think that the market's just going to keep going, that it's going to keep going, and that you just put it on the MLS and it's going to sell. You heard me tell him, look, 51% of the properties that go on the multiple listing service do not sell the first time around. And he's like, what? People will do that. Make sure when you're prospecting and you're talking to people that you share with them the absolute truth about what goes on in your multiple listing service, okay? Don't let them think that they're going to just get away with it and just put it on the multiple listing service with a $500 broker and all of a sudden you're going to have a deal left and right. Look, any fool, I always like to tell them, any fool can put it on the multiple listing service and get it under contract. It takes somebody with skill to be able to actually get it to close and keep everybody together. That's a very hard skill. Anthony writes in there, gotcha. So basically you have a chat with them on what your brokerage does to bring buyers, and then you make them sign what agreement. So in this particular circumstance, now I asked him, you remember me asking him, are you planning on listing your property with me? Right? And I said kind of an offhand way. Now I said it that way and I explained it in a joking fashion that I was doing it so that I know if I should wear something appropriate or not, if I should get dressed up, right? I'm going to get dressed up anyway. If I'm going to a $700,000 house, okay, and they're going to ask me how I'm bringing buyers to it, you can better believe that I'm going to come, guns blazing, ready to go with a contract ready to sign. And it will be a standard exclusive listing agreement because trust me, there's been more than one occasion where I've gone into a presentation. Look, they've seen me once before. They know, think about your for sale by owners and this for sale by owner. If you're going to try and get for sale by owners, coincidentally, let me see what the dialer is doing here. Haven't heard anything in a while. We've called all the for sale by owners. Well, that's why. Okay, so we called all the for sale by owners. We called all the expireds. I'm not going to call any more cold people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave with you a quick couple thoughts and quick couple thoughts about for sale by owners. And I'm going to go over what we actually accomplished today and what our stats are. So let's go ahead, take a look. So for today, let's see, we have, today is the 22nd. We have 37 expireds that we called, 24 for sale by owners, which I guess leads to a total of 61 leads in total. So 61 families we'd contacted. We made 90 calls. Okay, so 61 families we were trying to get a hold of. 90 calls we made to try and get to them. Out of 90 calls that we made to get to these people, we only talked to 17 people. And out of 17 people, we were able to set 3 appointments of some kind to get in lawfully to somebody's house. And we've left 12 voicemails and we've set 1 call back to go call that fellow back today at 7 o'clock after church. Now, if you average it all down, let's take a look here what this works out to be. 143 contacts to 6 appointments, which is a 4.2% conversion ratio. You'll see that as you call expired and listings and for sale by owners, your conversion ratio starts to increase. You'll see that yesterday it was like 2% or something because we spent an awful lot of time calling cold calls. But as you call expireds and for sale by owners, people who are more motivated, then you'll notice your conversion ratio goes up. Now, a quick word about for sale by owners before I let you go. And again, if you've not taken the time, I would highly encourage you to check this podcast out. It's going to be a podcast at theredpillinvestor.com. I would highly recommend you go check that out, like and subscribe that too, because you're going to get that as well as a bunch of other information that maybe you hadn't heard before. When it comes to for sale by owners, I just want to say one last thing about this appointment that we got coming up next week. I've met these people before. As you know, I told you it's going to take them an awful long time to get to the point where they feel that they can mentally buy in to the belief that 3% or whatever of the sales price is what they're going to have to pay me to bring a buyer to the property. Okay. Text this message to a for sale by owner. I saw your advertised house. I'm an investor buying a house this week. Will you consider selling your house on a payment with terms? Now, that is a very powerful way to do it. Let me give you an improvement, right? And here's what I text. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in the comments so you guys can get it too. Here is what I typically text when I am offline, not recording. Okay. I saw your house on sale. Let's see. I saw your house for sale. Is it still available? Boom, boom. So is your house for sale? Is it still available? Now, this works out really well when you're calling a for sale by owner or an expired. Now, remember, I think it was episode number 505, right, that I had done this. I talked about alternative methods to prospect, to generate leads as a wholesaling realtor or as a realtor or a wholesaler or as an investor. Alternative ways to generate leads. What you really got to think about is this avenue of texting. Calling people is certainly an effective way to call people. As you can see, I was setting appointments, but it does take time and it doesn't always work. And sometimes when you text people, people can respond to you. So what I've done, right? Let me just show you very briefly here. On mine, I simply put on there a simple text, still. So you can go ahead and boom, you can go ahead and create these automatic messages where you just simply press two or three letters, STS, still want to sell, something like that. And automatically a text just prints out. So you can just do it in 2 or 3 seconds. He says, I also text my message to for rent by owner because they may be a reluctant landlord. That is 100% true and very accurate. Thank you for your point, Ultimate Bargains. That is a big shout out to you on that one. You'll notice on the Red Pill Investor sales scripts, we have a sales scripts for rent by owners. And that is a very important thing to do. If you're going to text them or call them, certainly a big idea to do both. You want to contact those people because remember, they're not always going to be in a position where they're wanting to be a landlord. There are people where many times they tried to sell their property a year ago. It did not work out. And for whatever, Jesus, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to knock over the microphone, me and my wild hands. If you think about it, people did not intend to become a landlord. It's just what happened. They rented their property out. And the next thing you know, here they are a year later with a tenant who's moving out. And here they got a house that's vacant again. And when you call them up, if you're looking on online or in some other places, you'll notice them as a for rent by owner. And as Ultimate Bargains pointed out, they are reluctant landlords. They do not want to be there. They're not professionals. They are not people that would want to be landlords. And if you are an investor, that is 100% something you could do, is text those people up and talk to them about maybe going ahead and doing a lease purchase or something like that. But I would give you a word of caution. Okay. A word of caution. Now, this is simply because I am old. Okay. I'm old. All right. A word of caution to you. If you are a realtor or an investor out there and you're out there doing lease purchases, lease purchase options, wholesaling lease options, owner financing, owner carry, things of that nature. Okay. I understand and I recognize that those are all legitimate ways of doing business. However, you must exercise an abundance of caution, particularly if you're a realtor. Okay. If you're an unlicensed person and you're out there wholesaling lease options and you get things under contract, lease purchases, and you're doing a 1-page contract, 2-page contract, whatever, and you're just willy-nilly doing things, hey, that's cool. That's your business model, right? The thing to remember, however, is if you're a real estate broker, you do need to pay a little bit more attention and a little bit more caution, especially when you're doing those things. Certainly wouldn't recommend that you dissuade yourself from any form of business that you're comfortable with. But if you're not comfortable with that form of business, then get some education about it. Ask around and follow up. Boy, guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to share. I really appreciate you taking the time to comment. I am extremely grateful for all the seconds that you've spent watching me prospect, all the comments that you've shared. I am super grateful for Anthony Lagos for his comments. Absolutely grateful for Ultimate Bargains for bringing out their comments. Anybody who's watched this and shared it, guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I am in debt to you for everything you've done to support me and my channel and help me to bring this information to you. Let's see. Ultimate Bargains wanted to put in one more thing. Says, I use an experienced attorney and licensed RMLO to handle the paperwork and regulation compliance. Thank you very much, Ultimate Bargains. I'm so glad you put that in there because there's so many realtors who will see these comments right here and they're going to think to themselves, oh, gosh, I need to do that too. Remember, guys, if you're going to go into the more esoteric type of investing, nothing wrong with it. It's esoteric, but get an attorney, get somebody who's a licensed in that area who knows what to do, because that will allow you to provide the best customer service for your clients and it'll protect your six. Guys, thank you so much. And as always, have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.